Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, June 26th. It is 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick, and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Got a few things here to update, and we should be good to go. All right, let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Looks good. All right. All right, so as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here. Still getting the hang of this new Zoom. It's kind of weird still. All the buttons are in different places. All right, going down to the 8 hour over here. Down to the 4 hour. Down to the 2 hour. Down to the 1 hour. Down to the 30 minute. Down to the 15. Down to the 10. Down to the 1. And it looks like we are good to go. I'm gonna mark up some 1 minute liquidity over here as well. Just at the higher highs and lower lows. Just in case. All right, looks good. So I marked up liquidity over here, guys. This liquidity level just got hit. It was lined up with the session New York low and London low right here. So that pretty much got pushed through. That was the first level of liquidity that I just marked up right here. Marked up the other levels. So good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, June 26th. It is 6:28 right now. Market's going to open in about 2 minutes. I've marked up liquidity over here above from the daily down to the 1 minute. As you guys can see, there's a ton of liquidity above, right? So if price pushes up, we might get all this knocked out. So we'll continue to look for that there. And then we have the lower levels down here at 39,343. So when market opens, if price continues to climb down lower, this is going to be the target price point, right? So I'll be looking for some possible entries here for a sell. Target price point is probably going to be this lower level of liquidity down here. And then above is going to be these upper levels of liquidity right here. So I'll be looking for price to go in either direction. I think we have some high impact news over here at 7 o'clock, 7:30, and that's about it. And I'm going to try to limit my trades, guys. I think today I'm going to look for only like about 3 trades. And then I'll probably wrap it. I'll try to get in and out by 3 o'clock, of course. I mean, by 7 o'clock. All right, guys, market is about to open. Market is now open. So price is pushing up right here. If price pushes up, I'm going to look for a possible entry for a buy up here. If price pushes down, I'll be looking for a possible entry down here to this direction. So the volatility is actually really low right now. So I'm going to wait a little bit, let this volatility kind of pick up. I think price will push to the upside though. I'm looking for price to push up here. Target price point is going to be this level and these areas of liquidity up here. So we got, back. So we got opening price right there. So it looks like price is trying to come down a little bit, but there we go. We got price coming down right here. Look for some opportunity down here to get down to this liquidity. Not here yet, but we'll watch for it. So I'm gonna look for price to maybe swing up a little bit and then come back down. The area of liquidity right here just got hit. So first level of liquidity right there just got hit. We got price pushing down to the next level down here. I'm gonna wait for a confirmation of the continuation. If anything, target price point will be down here. I'm not going to chase this because there was no retracement. I'm worried I'm going to get caught on the pullback. But again, target price point is probably going to be down here. So I'm going to look for that possible correction back up. If it does push down further, this is probably where it's going to push down to this next level. It pretty much knocked out both levels of liquidity right here. I was kind of tempted to take it, but I didn't want to hop in right away because I was worried about the reversal. So if it does drop down further, this is probably where it's going to drop down to. So I'm going to want this to retrace up a little bit and come back down. I'm not going to enter right here. It's way overextended at this point. So I would like this to push up a little hard and then come back down. But right here, I'm not going to chase this move. It's a little too late. If you guys want to take that, that's going to push down to the next level of price structure right there, the 300 mark. That's probably where it's going to push down to. That's target price point. But because price is pushed down so hard right here, I'm not ready to enter this trade yet. Looking for that hard retracement and then possible swing back down. So I want this to pull up a little bit, and then I'm going to look for it to correct back down. See how it pulled up like that? If price swings back down and turns red, then I'll be looking for possible entry back down to the lower level here at the 300 mark. If not, that's fine. I'm gonna look for it to retrace up even further. So I'm just looking for that price action to come up and come back down super hard. So if it comes back down, I'll look for entry. If it doesn't, then I'll look for the correction back up, possibly look for some buys here. So that correction down didn't happen right here. Again, I'm just going to follow these candles here. We're currently bearish right now because price is below the pivots. The trend meter is red, pivots are angling down, and also the divergence down here is also bearish. So I'll keep watching it here. So I'm just looking for it to come back down, looking for that price action to swing all the way back down. I probably won't look for any entry until it comes back down to this lower level of liquidity right here. So if it comes down sharp down to this next level of liquidity, I'm going to hop in and then try to ride this down to this 300 level right here. Doesn't look like it's coming back down, which is completely fine. I want to make sure it's for sure coming back down. So it might reject off here and it might come down from this point. But if it doesn't, it's fine. We might start looking for some buys here because we have liquidity above. We got price rejecting off the sessions right here. So price is coming back to open. This is the new target price point back to open. So one of two things will likely happen here. Price will probably reject off the pivot and come back down, or if it doesn't, it's probably going to keep climbing up, break above opening price, and climb up to this level of liquidity up here. Personally, I would prefer to take the buys here because of the all of the liquidity up here. There's a lot of areas to push, but if price decides to come right back down, again, that's completely fine. It's still bearish right now, so I'm still okay with taking sells here. I just gotta wait for that confirmation so I can hop into it. Or price might just go sideways till news over here. All right, so we got price climbing up, looking for the possible buy here. I'm gonna look for price to kind of swing back down and then continue back up. All right, if this swings up past this lower high, I'm gonna enter this for a buy. Or it swings past this area up here, I'll be looking for that possible buy because I think this is gonna be the target price point if it does continue to climb up higher. If it doesn't climb up higher, that's completely fine. Again, price might just go sideways from now until news. The volatility here is not as high as we would like. I mean, it's good. It's at 23, but it's not like high where it continues to climb and just keeps going sideways. So at this point, I'm going to stick to the trend unless we do get a shift in trend over here. All right, so price is still at the opening price. Again, if it swings back up past these lower highs, I think price will push up to this upper level over here. I'll probably push up to the liquidity. So I'll be watching to take any possible buys here. Volatility is pretty low right now. All right, looks like price might be coming back down. All right, I'm gonna clean up these levels of liquidity right here. Just to clean up the chart a little bit. Does not look like price is pushing up yet, or if it's ready to push up, looks like it might be coming back down. And it looks like it might just continue to range down here. So if anything, the target price point is probably going to be down here, next level. Or it might swing back up. So you guys can see price is having trouble getting past this session right here. So, I mean, price can really go in either direction. Looking for that possible push up. Again, if price pushes past those lower highs, I'm going to ride this up to that liquidity up there. I do need the liquidity though. I need volatility. Price is pushing up. Probably going to wait for the next candle here because it's a little overextended. Yeah, there was no retracement on here, so I'm going to hold off on this. If price pushes up higher, the target price point is probably going to be the sessions right here. So it's probably going to blast through here, and then this is where it wants to reach. Right? So I'm waiting for price to kind of get up here a little bit. But there's got to be volatility. You guys can see how slow the market's moving right now. It's coming back down. So this is going to be one target price point above. The other target price point is going to be this lower level right here. I'm watching this here. This volatility is too low. I'm going to hold off for a little bit, guys. There's just no direction. So I'm not even looking to reach this level right here. I'm looking to reach this lower level down here. This is too close. And it's just not having any luck getting past the sessions right here. So if it pulls back, I think this is going to be well, I mean, obviously you can see this is the range right here. Price is just going sideways right here. This was just a big drop. Then price is now going sideways right here. There's like no direction at all. So we're getting a big range right here in between this area. Okay, price is coming back down now. We'll see if the volatility and direction stays. No, it's not. You guys can see here. It's not really just like you want to see a continuous push. There just isn't much direction here. I mean, there's a bunch of red candles, but there's not too much direction. Price is kind of coming down and then it swings back up. So the thing that you want to be careful for is possible fake out and then pull back to the range, right? The actual direction is right here down the middle. This is the actual movement. Everything outside of here, you want to be careful because it could be a possible fake out. I mean, that's probably what could happen here, right? Possibly fake out, come back up, fake out, come back down, and it just stays within this area right here. But again, the first target price point is going to be here. The ideal target price point is going to be down here. So I'm probably not going to look for any entries until we have price really drop a bit further, because this area right here is what I would consider a possible fake out area. We have a possible breakout V3 continuation coming up right here. If this breakout V3 continuation sets up, this might be the direction of price, and if price continues to climb in that direction, then we might be able to look for some possible sells here. Because I really just want price to get below here. I want some volatility though. Yeah, and this is the fake out that I was kind of warning you guys about, possible fake out area right here. And this will probably push back up to the sessions for opening price. I mean, either way, kind of just waiting here. We didn't have that typical volatility here on open, but I think the volatility will be picking up soon. We got news over here at 7 o'clock, high impact news, new home sales. The forecast would be positive. The last home sales release was negative, so I guess we'll see. All right. Looks like news price is just waiting for news here. So we might just get some consolidation range for a bit, which is fine. I mean, I was hoping to be done trading by 7. We talked about this yesterday. Typically after 7, the market kind of flattens out. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of flattened out right here as well. All right, so the volatility here is actually really, really slow compared to past couple of days, guys. Usually we get like this movement here. So you guys can see from 6:30, well, the first like 5 minutes of market open where it kind of moved very volatile. This typically happens from 6:30 up until 7, but today the market is not really moving at all. I mainly think it's because of the news here at 7. I think a lot of people are just waiting for the news to come out. Once the news comes out, it's going to push some volatility in the market. And I'm expecting this liquidity up here to get hit. So the news is forecasted to be positive. Last month, it was negative 4.7. They're forecasting it to be positive this month, 2.9. So if it is positive, then I'm expecting price to just climb up super heavy and, of course, hit all the liquidity up here. There's a lot of liquidity up here, as you guys can see all the blue lines. So if price is bullish and price actually pushes up, I'm going to look for price to push up here, of course. But again, we have a sideways move over here. Not really useful at the moment. Yeah, there's nothing going on here. Price is just consolidating within this middle area right here between the two price structures, the 400 mark up here and the 350 mark down here. Yeah, not much going on here. So again, I don't really care for this level. I mean, if price drops lower, this is the first level, but I'm going to look for price to come down a bit lower down here. So it looks like volatility might be picking up a little bit here, not so much. Again, target price point got hit that first level right here. Now the next level is going to be this next level below here. The only problem here again is that the volatility is super, super slow. So I need it to kind of come down a bit more. Man, if we were in a position here, you'd be holding on to that for a while. All right, we got price coming down. Again, I'm going to be looking for price to come down and test this lower level right here, the 300 mark. So I'm not really willing to take any trades up here yet because there might be some fake outs around this area. I'll be looking for price to come down a bit lower. Because this is probably going to be a fake out, possibly, and then it might just pull right back up to the range up here. All right, so I'm going to wait. Not in any rush here. The volatility is kind of iffy. It picks up for like maybe 1 or 2 candles and then it dies back down. So you can see right here, this candle again is super flat. Picked up over here for a little bit and now it's not doing much. CJ said, with all that liquidity, I hope it leaps up like Mario so we can collect those coins. Yeah, there's a ton of liquidity up there, guys. There's liquidity down here too, but it's pretty far down. It's down at like 39,204. So it's like about a couple hundred points away. The liquidity up here though is like pretty close. Like to like where price is actually at. Right. So price does climb back up. If we get a nice climb to the upside, I mean, it could pretty much knock out all this liquidity. But typical summer market here. Not too much to work with. Let's see. Yeah, there's not too much going on here. So again, this is why I said to wait for price to get lower because it's just faking out right here. It's luring in some sellers. I really won't trust the sells until price gets down here because price will probably push down to this level down here. If you get in right here, price is probably just gonna go sideways, maybe swing up, maybe swing down. Not exactly the best case scenario. All right, so I'm just waiting again for volatility here to pick up. Looks like it might be picking up a little bit right here. Okay, price is coming back down further. So again, I'm looking for this lower level over here. Looks like it's finally trying to make its test down here. It's not low enough yet. So what I would look for here is I would look for price to come down a bit further, come up. So this is kind of what I want. I want this candle close down here. I want a green candle to push up pretty hard and then wick back down. And that's going to show me that volatility is coming to the downside. If that doesn't happen, then you might get stuck in another bounce off here and retest back up. Right? It might not even reach this lower level. I need enough power behind these candles to reach this point down here. If price isn't going to reach this lower point, I don't want to do anything with it. Because the last thing I want to do is get into a position and it just comes right back up super hard, right? Because when the volatility comes in, the volatility is going to come in one direction or the other. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the fake out to the upside. I don't really want to fake out down here and swing back up. What I want is I want to fake out above and then come back down hard like that. So I'm basically looking to anticipate the fake out. Maybe a V1 pattern up here, maybe a retest of the levels with a V1 pattern, nice rejection on this point. That'd be nice. And then it comes back down to test the 300 level right here. The volatility is too low, so I'm not really expecting much to happen here. There's just not too much going on. I mean, this could have been a possible entry right here, but I wouldn't want to be holding on to this where it's just going sideways like this, right? Because this technically could have been the entry. You saw the little wick right here above. It's too little of a wick. I need a bigger wick. I need this to push up. So for example, right here, see how this is pushing up? I need this to come down super hard. Okay, perfect. So this looks like this might be the setup that I was just talking about. So see how price is pushing back up right here? I need price to push up a bit harder, bounce off maybe the level there, or even the pivot, level or the pivot. some sort of structure. I need price to come up really hard, bounce off it, come back down, turn red, and then make its continuation back to the 300 level right here. So that's kind of what I'm waiting for right here. I'm looking for that nice rejection off structure, whether it be a level or whether it be a pivot. I just need a nice rejection, and I need some volatility behind that rejection. Can't be like a lazy candle. Right, so price is pushing up a little bit. Again, I would need a strong push down. So see how price is coming up now? You're getting some volatility right there. I need this to push down very hard. So not this yet. Still doesn't meet my criteria. I need this to push up. So I would want something like this. Like I would want a buy signal to come up, and then I want a strong red candle to come back down. So on the same candle. So for example, right here, I'm looking at this price action. There's some volatility to the upside. I want this to fake out mid candle. So I want this to push up, maybe touch this pivot right here, and then come down very hard as a strong red candle. And then I think this will probably push down to this lower level right here. But the volatility is so low that I'm not really expecting any of that to happen here. You know, something that someone mentioned to me yesterday was like they were doing the same thing, but they were trading on the 15-second chart, which I think is crazy. But he said it works for him because he's able to see in between. Because these 1 minute candles are so slow that he's actually cutting it down to like a 15-second candles, and he's looking at the price action on lower time frames, and it's working for him. So just food for thought, nothing that I'm going to work with, but that's something that one of the guys here in the group was doing. I think he was going down to the 10 or the 15-second. Because basically the 10 and the 15-second are like just smaller 1 minute candles. So these are 1 minute candles, and if you want to go even tighter than that, he was looking at this. So you can see over here on the 15-second, it's a little bit smoother. You can see how price kind of rejects off the pivots like we were talking about, and then it comes down. But I'll have to like take a look at that at some other point. All right, so we're actually getting the push down right here, but I'm going to hold off on this because the volatility here is just way too low, guys. So this is exactly what I was looking for. See how price pushed up to that orange pivot right there and it came back down? My entry would have happened right here when it came back down. But again, I'm just not feeling the volatility right now. The volatility is just way too low. And then we have news coming up over here in about 9 minutes. So not really going to mess with anything here right now. I'm probably going to hold off on it. It's too close to news. The last thing I want to do is get caught in this sideways movement. And then we get this big spike because of high impact news over here at 7 o'clock. So I'm going to hold off on that. Nice. Yeah, CJ said that he tried this strategy on the 30-second chart to test it out and it doesn't work. Yeah. So that's what a lot of people were mentioning. So a lot of people were mentioning to us that like you know, if the 1 minute's slow, just go on the even lower time frame. Because so what happened with, and I'm not going to name him because I don't want you guys to like bombard him with questions, but he typically trades on the 5 minute, and then the 5 minutes is just sideways. So he went on the 1 minute because we trade on the 1 minute, and this is still sideways. So he went on the 30-second, then the 15-second, then the 10-second, and he's like, bro, the same strategies work on like the second time frames because there's still movement on the second time frame. There just isn't much movement on the 1 minute. It just keeps going back and forth. And I was like, oh, that's pretty smart to go down on those lower time frames. I mean, at some point in the future, maybe we could look at those lower time frames. Like the 10-second here, you can see it's moving. I think the 10-second might be a little too low though. 30-second here does work too though. So this is what CJ was mentioning. He said he looked at this on the 30-second. I mean, it looks fine. It looks way smoother here on the 30-second than it does on the 1 minute, of course. All right, so the volatility is picking up. Unfortunately, the news is coming up like very soon in about 7 minutes. So I'm just going to hold off right now, guys. I don't want to get caught in any of this pre-news manipulation. So what I think might happen here is I think this is probably going to get manipulated down up until news. So this will probably climb down a little bit to lure in some sellers. And then when news comes out and it's positive, it's going to spike all the way back up. Right? I'll be looking for that news spike. Because right here, I mean, this looks like it's now the new consolidation area. This area right here. So again, guys, just gotta sit tight and wait. Nice. Yeah. So Robert over here said he follows the 1 minute, but he trades off the 15 seconds. So Robert's another guy who trades off the 15 as well. Solid. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because the 1 minute here is so slow. And, if you're trading on the 5 minute, you're getting no direction here. So it's impossible to trade on the 5 minute. We try to trade on the 1 minute, but again, it's kind of tough. So you can even go down to like the 15 second and you'll see some actual movement here, like opportunities for entry. Yeah, because you could have taken the levels entry right here. That would hit your TP. So maybe something we'll look at moving forward, like if we really need to. If the 1 minute's like way too slow, then okay, we'll move down to like lower time frame, like an even lower time frame. But yeah, right now we'll just stick to the 1 minute for now. And then if we need to, and that becomes the case because we are in summer, then we'll probably do something like that. But yeah, thanks, Robert, for your input. Because it's good to see that other people are doing it too. So it's not just, that one person. All right, guys, we got news right here. We have a V1 variation pattern right here. It's a reversal pattern back to the upside. We got 5 minute slow news. 7:30 is just gas stock change. It happens every Wednesday. All right. So like I said yesterday, guys, I kind of traded off tilt yesterday. Yesterday was a break-even day for us. It was a slight profit, but because of all the fees and commissions, it ended up being a break-even day. Yesterday, I just went a little ham on the trade. So today I'm trying to be a little more structured. I'm gonna try to aim for like about 3 trades per day. I'm gonna try to cut off at 7 o'clock. Today, we're not gonna be able to cut off at 7 o'clock because obviously there was no entries here before 7 that we felt comfortable taking. So I'll keep looking for any other opportunities here. I mean, looking back at the price movement and price structure from today, there's technically entries that we could have taken. So for example, like when price rejected off the pivots over here, we technically could have taken a sell right here, but I was being a little careful because of the price movement here. So it's all good. But I'm just looking back over here and if I was just more focused and like okay with taking these riskier trades, technically these two right here could have been decent, like where this lower high is. This price did push up, it rejected off the pivot and it came back down. Maybe not this one, but this one right here, this big red candle. This probably could have been rode down to this level right here. But if you guys remember, I was talking about this, that this might be a little tricky area. So just looking back at it, it's always going to look easier from hindsight, like after it's happened. But yeah, I mean, this will just help us because this could have gave us like maybe 1 or 2 decent entries. Like this one over here could have been okay. And possibly this one right here too, where this candle came up to that yellow pivot. Like I mentioned earlier, I said, well, I'm waiting for price to push up and come down very hard. It did come down right there. It wasn't like super fast, but it still would have hit TP right here. So there basically would have been 2 entries right there. One at 643 and one at 651. So, but I think today we were just a little more cautious because of my trading yesterday. I think that was probably the most I've traded during a live session. So if you guys were sitting in on the live session yesterday, we took a total of 8 trades during the live. It's a lot of trades. And I ended up paying the price with commissions because the commissions on Apex is $5. It's basically 1 point. Your commission is going to be 1 point, one way, I believe. So I paid about like 600 in commissions and I paid about 300 in commissions yesterday. So total commissions of about 1,000 this week so far per account for my Apex. And of course it ate into my profits because I made about 800 yesterday and made about 800 yesterday. And then it pretty much ate into all of that plus pushed me into the red a little bit. So we got news coming up in less than a minute, guys. Rashida mentioned technically the 5 minute levels is currently running. So yeah, so the 5 minute levels is currently running right now. The only problem here is that we have news coming up in a minute. So that news spike could really push price, either spike it down or spike it right back up. My guess is that it's going to spike it up because the news is forecasted to be positive. But again, the news doesn't have to come up, right? Even though the news is positive, it can easily just come down from manipulation. So we'll come back and take a look at the news right here, but it is forecasted to be positive. We got 20 seconds till news. A little curious here to see how price reacts to it. I'm probably going to wait a little bit though for the news reaction to happen before I actually take anything here. Yeah, Rashida said she'd rather have it go up. Me too, because there's a lot of liquidity up here. All right, so here's a news candle. Let's see if it actually even moves. I don't even know if it'll move very much. All right, we got the news candle right there. The news was mixed. So new home sales month over month was negative. It was actually really worse. So they're forecasting it to be positive 2.9. It was actually negative 11.3. So it was really, really bad month over month. The new home sales for May are actually decent though. So new home sales for May are good, but the month over month is horrible. It's negative 11.3%. So mixed news right there. Like that, I can't believe they're that far off. They're negative 14% expected. Their worse than expected result was negative 14%. So they were off by 14 percentage points. All right. Well, I mean, inventory sucks now. I've been looking for a home too lately here in California. It's impossible to find a good home. Like you could find some crappy homes or some really expensive homes, but a decent home, they're hard to come by. Yeah, Nick said that's an intentional false projection, which shows negative sentiment from the guys. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, yeah, it was way worse than expected. Like it's just crazy. It's crazy how like you can't be that far off. Maybe like 5%, but that was way off. So whoever the analysts are over here are either rigging the market for people to think that price is going to go up, or uh, or their analysts are just really bad today. Arizona. Jose moved to Arizona. Man, if it wasn't so hot out there, I would, Jose, but it's way too hot in Arizona. I know some of you guys here in the group live in Arizona, and Jose does, of course. It's probably like 120 degrees out there right now, huh? It's hot here in California. There's like 100 degrees here in Irvine, but I can only imagine how hot it is over there. All right, guys, so the volatility still hasn't picked up yet. Again, I think the volatility will pick up eventually. You just got to give it some time, and you got to pay attention to the charts because the charts are the volatility will just come when you least expect it. Price will go sideways for a little bit and we'll start to get a little bit of a climb, and it'll probably climb up to the next level because it's going to break out of this consolidation zone right here. And this might be it. See how price is now starting to climb? This could be the case. Jose Luis said, follow Elon and move to Texas. Man, Texas is just as bad. I'd love to move out there, but it's way too hot. I know a lot of people say you'll get like used to the weather, but I have friends that actually moved out there during COVID and they still haven't gotten used to the weather. They're planning on coming back once they can. But I mean, it's nice out there. You get a huge you get a mansion out there for like a regular house cost here in California. Like here in Irvine, the price of like where I live currently, the average cost of homes here, like in my specific area, are like 3 to 5 mil, and they're nice homes, but they're not like it's not like what you'd be getting in Texas or Arizona. You get like an estate out there for that much money. Over here, you're getting like a cookie cutter home. Yeah, it's crazy how far your money could stretch out there. Yeah, Nick said kind of wild that Texas doesn't have any income tax. Well, yeah, that too. So like that's a big reason why a lot of people move to Texas. I was planning on moving to Texas during COVID, but ended up staying out here. I heard they want to bring that here to California, but I don't expect it to happen. There's no way they're gonna get stuff like that here. I know they're thinking about removing it in like other states too. Basically, all of the surrounding states, Arizona, Nevada, Texas, etc. Yeah, Nick said not happening. LOL. Oregon will be first. Yeah, I can see Oregon. I can see you guys up there for sure. Oh, they don't? That's crazy. I didn't realize you guys don't have a sales tax out there. The sales tax here is crazy. I bought my wedding shoes yesterday at Louboutin. I paid like 1,500 for some wedding shoes. The taxes here is like 7.75. So like the shoes are like 1,200 plus tax. So like 1,500. It's crazy. It's nuts. Everything here in California is nuts. And of course, you know about the gun. Oh, you probably don't know, Nick, but like the gun tax out here too. They're adding another gun tax. It's like a double gun tax. They're adding in July. So you get double, maybe triple tax. Vimal's asking gun tax. What is it? A tax. Well, the gun tax is just you got to pay extra. Like you're already paying the California tax, plus you're paying like extra to get a gun here, and then they're charging you another tax on top of that. So it's like a triple tax. They're basically trying to limit people from buying guns here in California. That's their goal, but it comes in a form of tax, of course. They can't just tell you, oh, you got to pay extra for specific. Yeah, like Kevin said, like cigarettes, exactly. Like they want to prevent you from buying cigarettes, but people will just pay for the cigarettes, even though the tax is super high on that. I know we're going off topic, guys, but there's no entries here for us, so don't worry. I'm following the charts. Don't worry. I'm not missing out on any of these moves here. I'm looking for my 1 or 2 entries here, or 3 entries if possible. But the volatility here is just not moving. Price is still stuck within this range right here. Again, I'm looking for price to push out of here. If price pushes above, great. I'm going to look for some buys. If price pushes below, great. I'm going to look for some sells. But I need some volatility here. So I'm not just going to be taking any random trades. I need price to actually be moving. See, HP said he's from LA, but he moved to Florida because it's way cheaper. You know, I was thinking about moving to Florida as well. I wanted to move to like Miami at some point, but it's just kind of far. Like because my whole family lives here in like LA, Orange County. So yeah, I mean, Miami would be nice. Of course, have to deal with like hurricane weather. Yeah, but no, Florida is a good option. It's just on the other side of the world, basically. Not the world, but you know, you guys get it. The other side of the US. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'll travel to Florida. Maybe I'll like it, move out there. Taking a lot of East Coast trips this year. All right, guys, still nothing happening here. Again, I'm waiting for that volatility. Once we get that volatility spike, I'm going to be looking for some sells if it comes down. So if price comes down below this point here, my target price point is going to be this 300 level. We're still in a bearish trend right now. So you guys can see prices below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Divergence is bearish. Everything's pointing towards the downside. So I'm still looking for some possible sells here. If we get a shift to the upside, I mean, that's fine. I need price to be away from this session. So I need price to actually be up here for me to start looking for entries. So basically what you guys want to look for here is for price to be past the sessions for me to start looking for some buys, and price to be past this lower low right here for me to start looking for some sells. So don't worry, guys. I'm on the charts. I'm watching these charts, even though we're talking about some side topics here, but there's just no movement here. The volatility is low. This is why I try to cut off my trades by 7 o'clock. But because we had news over here at 7, the volatility was pretty much flat. It was it was pretty much just, it moved right here for the first 5 minutes and then it flattened out. And now it's just going sideways. Vimal said, when is the ban for guns coming? bans for guns will never happen here in the US. It's technically our right to have a gun, so they'll limit what kind of guns you can have. I mean, I have a lot of guns. I started collecting guns like since COVID. I don't have a lot of guns, but I do have a pretty decent amount. Um, for a lot of reasons, protection, etc. Mostly protection. Um, but yeah, they'll never limit guns here. Where are you from, Amal? Are you from the UK? I think you're from the UK, right? So I know, like in the UK, guns are banned. I think also in Canada, like in the UK, everyone carries knives, right? So that's a thing out there. You guys carry shanks. Yeah, yeah, you guys carry knives out there. It's crazy. I've seen not even, yeah, I know knives aren't allowed there, but I know people do carry knives in the UK. I've seen videos. You guys are crazy out there. You guys be having knife fights, knife fights, like legit knife fights. Um, I think knives are probably scarier than guns, to be honest. Like you're in a gunfight, it's kind of like leveled. But if you're in a knife fight, like you guys have those little shanks, those things are crazy. It's kind of similar how it is like in South America too. Not everybody has guns out there, but you guys have like knife fights. Yeah, but that doesn't really stop things. I feel like people in the UK still have guns. Certain people in the UK have guns still, even though it's banned. I feel like it's worse that way. If the guns are banned, it's worse because you can't really defend yourself. Here in California, they make it hard, or in the US, they make it hard to get guns, but you can still have a gun if you really try. All right, guys. So I know we're talking about a little too much other than trading, but there's still no movement here. I just want to remind you guys, we are still looking at the charts. There is nothing going on here. Price is sitting at the 350 mark. Again, I'm looking for prices to come below this lower low here for me to start taking some sells, or price to come above the New York low over here, New York or London low. Basically, the sessions. The sessions are on the same level right here. This is the New York low and the London low. I'm looking for price to be up here for some buys, looking for price to be down here for some sells. We're getting some volatility now, guys. So looking at this here, come down a little bit. See if there's some opportunity here to take some sells. Not really looking like it, but we'll see. So we might get some movement closer to 8 o'clock. You guys have seen this before in the past. I mean, every time we get off a live session, market picks up a little towards the end. So we'll keep looking over here. But again, I'm not looking to take any trades within this middle area. So this here is the consolidation range. We don't want to trade within this middle area right here, okay? So just keep that in mind, guys. You don't want to trade within this middle area right here. I'll draw some structure so that you guys can see. These are like basically the rebound points. You don't really want to trade within this middle area right here. So if I take off the levels real quick, you guys can see this is pretty much where price is sitting. It's just sitting within this middle area right here. But what we're looking for is we're looking for price to come below this point and come down further. But I need some volatility. I can't just get a sideways movement, right? I need like some big candles to come up. Let me measure these candles right here. So these candles are still pretty small. They look a lot bigger than the others, but they're still pretty small. They're moving like about 20 points. So you guys can see how this is a slow climb down. I'm not looking to take any trades with a slow climb down like this, because what could happen is it'll just slow climb back up. It'll be inverted head and shoulders. See this pattern right here? This is what could happen. Fake out, head and shoulders back up. I think Rashida's 5 minutes still running, right? Your levels. I know you're probably not in it, but it's still running right now. It's looking good. So if you're taking that levels from this 350 mark, if you're doing it for a 50-50 or even a 25-50, it's looking okay. Oh, yeah. Rashida said definitely not in it. I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't take that trade either. Um, Yeah, I mean, ideally, if price, because it's still bearish right now. So I do think if it does ever come down to this point, it's going to hit this level, right? So if it hits that level, it'll hit. But I'd be so stressed out if I was in a position right now. Because if you're in that position that Rashida was talking about, so she's talking about the about this right here. So this happened, or this entry has been basically been running for like maybe an hour now, right? Like this is just a roller coaster of emotions right here because you're looking at price, it goes into profit. You're like, okay, cool, a price thing to hit. Comes back up into drawdown, comes back down, comes back up, comes back down. It's a mess. So those entries are supposed to hit within like even the 5 minutes supposed to hit within, less than 30 minutes, less than 20 minutes. Um, and this thing's probably going back and forth for, let's see, from this point right here. Yeah, over 30 minutes now. So we've been in this consolidation right here for over 30 minutes. I'm hoping price breaks out of this consolidation area. I mean, otherwise, I'm not going to take anything here right now. I might not even trade anything today. I'm okay with not taking any trades today as long as it's not like, as long as it's not a loss. So today's Wednesday. We still have 2 more days to trade, guys. There's no need to force anything. So just keep your cool and just wait for your opportunity to come up. There's no need to force anything here. Just wait for price to break out of this area again. If I'm looking for some buys here, I'm looking for price to be up in this area right here. I'm okay to look for some buys right here, and I need some volatility. I'm okay with taking some sells down here, but I need some volatility. I can't just have like a slow climb down. I need price to like come down super hard, and I need the volatility to push to my TP. So just relax, guys. If you guys are getting kind of tense, you guys are starting to feel like FOMO, just don't like step away because there's no entries here. You can take a trade in either direction and still get caught, right? So you can take a sell here, you can get burned. You can take a buy here, you can get burned because there's no direction. Once there's a direction, then okay, you can start taking some risk. Right now, there's just no direction. Price is still sitting within this range, like I said earlier. The range is like really just between this area and this area right here. So if I turn off the levels and I turn off momentum and I turn off the pivots, I just turn off all the tools here. You guys can see that there's not really much to work with. This is really the range right here. So the direction is still bearish. So, I mean, obviously, so this is what I would be looking for here now, which is probably not going to happen, but you can still trade within the range. What I would be looking for is the fake out to the upside. So I'd look for price to come up. Well, I mean, it already came up right here. I was looking for it to maybe come back down. So I would look for this to push up a little hard, maybe like up to here, and then come down very hard for a red candle. If that happens right there, I would be kind of okay with taking a trade here for a sell, right? Because I'm probably going to ride this back into the range. So we got 30 seconds left on this candle. I think the volatility is too low. If the volatility was higher, we might be able to get a nice wick up right here and then a swing back down. So we got 20 seconds left on this candle. I think if this candle comes back down red, I think it's going to push back into the range. I'm probably not going to take it, but I'm just giving you guys some ideas here if you want to trade within the range. So this has got about 10 seconds left. I don't think it's going to happen. You guys can see the volatility is way too low. Or it might happen right there at the last second. Okay, so it actually did happen. You guys see how it came back down right here? This is where my entry would have been. It's probably going to push down into the range. It did exactly what I was looking for. Yep. See how it's coming down? Uh, yeah, that would have been a good entry too, but it's okay. Uh, the volatility is just way too low. So this is the pattern I was looking for, and you guys can see that the price action is perfect. It's just the volatility is too low. I'm surprised it came down like that at the last second, but that was literally what I was looking for. I was looking for that big spike up, and you guys can see my drawing right here. It's literally at the wick. Now it'd have been a full TP almost. Yeah, you see how the volatility is too low? I would have just closed out here for a small profit. Or not a small profit, but basically whatever was left of it. And there goes the full TP. Still hasn't hit its full TP yet. Either way, if you guys took this position, I would have pulled out here for profit. You're away by like 1 point. Like don't let your pride get the best of you and not, then there you go, full TP right there. So you guys see that entry? That's the price action I was looking for. I didn't expect this to come down though. It was like super green for like the last 10 seconds, and then it came down at the very last second, and then it pulled back into the range. So ideally, this is an entry I would have taken if the volatility was high enough. I've been trying to preach to you guys not to FOMO into any trades, so I'm not going to be that fool to FOMO into a trade when I just told you guys not to. But yeah, I mean that's basically this is what I would have looked for if there was volatility. So this is the pattern I'd look for, but I would look for something that's a bit faster, right? I want it to come up, come down very quick. I don't want it to like come up and then at the last second, all right, we're back red. All right, so other than that, again, target price points down here. See, I think if we looked at this on the lower time frame, let's go to the 30-second. Nah, it's too high. I mean, you still would be able to catch this. So that same pattern that I just showed you guys, you can basically catch it. It's still rejected off of structure here. On the 1 minute, it rejected off the pivot. Well, it rejected off the pivot and the structure actually. You know, now that I look back at it, you can actually take those patterns within structure like this, or just any structure. So like same with this red candle right here. See how price pushed up? I think this is the same one we looked at earlier when it bounced off the orange pivot. So price pushed up super hard, came back down red, and you could have taken this again right here for like another sell. So, I mean, ideally, this probably would have been the best entry because it's so far up. Like it actually went up to the resistance point. Taking them down here is a little more risky because price is already below, unless you get a strong rejection again. Let's see. All right, so the volatility here, let me see, the ATR is actually really low, guys. It's currently at 15. So if you want to take some entries here, I would probably get out at like 10 points, guys. I don't even think a 15-point TP would work well because the volatility is so low. Another setup right here could be setting up. So the same thing that I talked about right here, looking for it to kind of push up hard and you get a bigger wick and it comes back down. It'll probably push down again a little further. But the volatility here is just not it. You guys can see how slow this is moving. Yeah, I'm not really looking to take anything right now, guys, because the volatility is just way too low. It's just not worth the risk. I'll keep following, but not necessarily looking to take any entries here unless the volatility really picks up. So here goes that pattern I just kind of mentioned to you guys right here. This could be another opportunity to take that sell. But the volatility is just so low that you wouldn't really want to take it. Probably gonna be stuck in this. Yeah, there's no reason to take anything here right now. Okay, so the volatility looks like it's starting to pick up a little bit. Or not. It pushed up slightly and then it just came back down. So I saw this bigger green candle come up right here. It's kind of weird how the market's moving super slow throughout the entire day today. I feel like it's going to pick back up later, but right now it's really slow. We didn't even have much volatility here on open. Market picked up over here at 6:30 and it was pretty much flat. Or not, it moved for the first 5 minutes and then it just got flat after that. Let's see, Lamal's asking 710 was a CV. Let me check. 710. I don't see any CV right here. Lamal. It has to be off high low. So there's no high lows over here at 710 or anywhere around this area. Yeah. Yeah, the CB happened right here though at 635. So I don't know if you saw this one. Well, this is a CB. So this is a high with the green candle. It's a smaller red candle right there. I didn't even see that. That probably, or it was at the session, so I probably wouldn't have taken it. But this is a CB right here. All right, we're getting some volatility to the upside. Perfect. We're getting a little bit of volatility over here to the upside. Let's see if it finally climbs. Again, I want price to be above the sessions right here. Until it's above the sessions, probably gonna hold off, or I might even look for price to reject off the sessions once it gets past this area. Yeah, CJ said it's inching closer to the New York session highs. So hopefully after news, it'll break out to the upside liquidity dreams. Yeah, there's so much liquidity up here, guys. You guys see this? I think eventually, like if you guys keep trading later today, I think all this liquidity is going to get hit. I think we're going to close today at record highs. Well, not record highs, but record highs for the day. Right now, it's so flat. I think a correction is due to happen. So let's take a look at CNBC real quick. So the Dow is currently down 127 points. I think this is going to get closer to break even, to about neutral, zero, and then probably bullish. So I think we're going to have a bullish run towards the end of the session. I think right here, price is kind of just sitting, and then eventually price is going to make its climb up and then just keep climbing up higher, right? That's kind of what I see happening here because there's so much liquidity sitting here. Like this is going to have to get hit eventually. It's just chilling up here right now. And it's chilling because price hasn't been able to push up this high. So I mean, if you guys trade after this live session, like if you trade after 8 o'clock, I mean, look out for the bullish move because I think this is going to get hit by today for sure. I don't think price is going to drop any lower. Here, let's see. Let me go on the clean chart. Yeah, so you guys can see over here, like this is like a bigger 1 minute chart. This like price is basically at the support level right now. Like this is basically the support on the 1 minute. Let me go over here on like the 5 minute. Yeah. So this looks like the fake out zone right here. Let me check this out real quick. So this looks like the actual support. It looks like price is faked out around this lower area. You see how price spiked down and basically pull in, like basically stop out the buyers. Price spiked down right here. And then once it climbs up, it's going to wipe out all the liquidity because there's so much liquidity just hanging out right here, right? There's just a bunch of liquidity just hanging out right here. So, I mean, if you want to wait for it, I mean, I'm not going to wait for it, but if you guys want to wait for it later, this is probably what's going to happen. You guys can see on the 5 minute, 10 minutes, even clearer, right? So this was a support. Price broke the support right here. It lured in some sellers. Now it's coming back up for correction. I was hoping it happened by right now, like, or maybe in the next 30 minutes or so, this will probably start climbing up. But you guys can see it's pretty clear right here. There's so much liquidity just hanging out right here. Because it'll come up and it'll probably just let's do a liquidity sweep up here, and then it'll probably pull back down to where it's supposed to go. This is like the range, and then it'll just go sideways from there. That's just what I see. Again, you guys take my advice, take my analysis with a grain of salt. Like I'm not always right. I'm not always wrong, but this is just kind of what I see happening here. There's just so much liquidity here chilling. Like price has been coming down from London session. So from London session till now, price has been dropping. And if it corrects back up, it's gonna pretty much clear out all the liquidity just sitting right there. It's probably not going to happen right now though. So probably later in the session, closer to like 12. It's 7:28 right now, so we got a lot of time until then. This is typically how the market's been moving. It picks up a little later past 9. Market's kind of flat here. It usually moves from 6:30 to 7. And then from there it gets flat from 7 to about 9. And then 9 to 12, power hour, it starts to pick up. But we'll see. All right, we got news over here at 7:30, guys. This is gas stock change. It's not high impact news, it's low to medium impact news, but it happens every month. This typically doesn't really affect the market that much, but about a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, I took a trader out this time and it totally screwed me. It just went the complete opposite. You guys can see the volatility here is picking up a little bit because of the news. We got the news coming up in about 15 seconds. Once the news happens, we'll see if it actually starts to continue moving, but it's probably not going to. You guys can see it's actually pulling back into the range. So here goes the news candle. Price basically just pulled back into the range. You guys can see over here, I have the resistance drawn up. Basically faked out up here. Pulled right back down. So again, this is another pattern that I just was mentioning to you guys, right? See how price pushed up and pulled back down red? I mean, technically, if you wanted to take something from there, you could have, but I wouldn't have taken it because it looked like price was shifting back to the upside. Let's see. Nick said people are saying Apex is having issues in some of the other live streams and chats right now. I have way too many screens, so I lurk on everyone else's. Let's see. Nick said just started popping up seconds ago. So are there issues, Nick, or is ours fine? Since you're like looking at the other people's screens. I don't really see any issues on okay, next it just started popping up seconds ago, so it might not be widespread. It might just be people who are on Rhythmic. It seems like whoever's on Rhythmic is having issues. I haven't really had issues on Ninja aside from, I mean, the trade's not setting up TP stop loss, but I'm like manually watching it so I can know. Nikki said she still doesn't have her accounts from the 3rd. That's a long time, Nikki. So what I would recommend is, sorry guys, 1 second. Sorry guys, dogs are barking. So Nikki, what I would recommend is check. Did you pay for the PA account already? That's like my first question. So if you paid for your PA account, check the what you paid for it, because what happened with me is when I passed my 100K account like a long time ago, it took about a month to fix it because I didn't realize that they made a mistake. What happened was I paid for a PA for a 300K account. I don't even know how that happens, but I paid for a PA for a 300 account, and then I noticed it because I was like, this isn't a 300 PA, this is a 100K. So I ended up messaging them. They took like a week or 2 weeks to respond back to me. And they basically said, oh, you paid for the wrong PA. And I was like, okay, whatever. So they gave me the new PA fee. They refunded me the previous fee, and then I paid for the discounted one, and then they fixed. So your account. Yeah, so Nikki said yes. They finally got back to me saying it's all reinstated, but they're not. So if they refunded you for that same issue, go back and check your signatures and then pay for it again if you haven't paid for it a second time. Because that's what happened with me. I know it's super annoying because they don't really follow up with you. They take forever to get to your support ticket. But once we got that sorted out, I got the account like right away. Because your PA should happen like within the same day. It should take like a couple hours. I know they've been lagging lately because they have a lot of issues with Rhythmic. I think you guys have been noticing that. Apex has been having a lot of issues with Rhythmic. The thing that I want to remind you guys is that, you know, these funding companies, guys, you guys got to be careful. Like, I know we trust certain funding companies at this time, But the same thing happened with FTMO, right? There's always going to be issues with these funding companies, and don't expect these funding companies to be around forever. I think because of the competition with the funding companies, that a lot of these companies are taking shortcuts, and that's why I've kind of went the route to take my personal account. So I trade my personal account alongside with my Apex accounts. So if my Apex accounts ever go down, I'm fine because I can just keep trading my personal account. So just be careful when you guys are trading with these funding companies, not just Apex, but like other companies as well, because you never know when they're going to come into a problem and they might, go belly up. Because we thought nothing would happen with FTMO, right? FTMO is now not even considered a good funding company. There's some people in our group who have been trading our strategies for like years and they've been getting payouts. And then starting this year, a couple of the guys, they said that Apex stopped, or not Apex, FTMO stopped paying them out, and they're basically not allowing their trading style, which I think is crazy. They've been getting paid out for years, and all of a sudden they just stop accepting because they don't like the negative risk to reward. I think that was the biggest thing. So just a heads up. Yeah, CJ said Kodi and Kai were barking in agreement with how messed up it is Nikki hasn't gotten her accounts, right? They got your back, Nikki. But yeah, so that's the thing you should do. So check your or just put in another support ticket for Apex. I know for the last couple of weeks they've been taking a long time to respond, but I think they're picking it back up now. It's because so many people are complaining about the Rhythmic accounts, which I would be complaining too, of course, if I had like random trades on my accounts. It seems like it's only Rhythmic though, because I don't have any issues with my Ninja. All right, guys, so looking at this right here, price still has not gone anywhere. There's a price still sitting right here down the middle. So yeah, like what I was saying earlier, guys, just, with all your payouts and stuff that the profits you're getting from Apex, I would probably put some money aside for your personal account. So if Apex happens to run through some issues, you can always just go to your personal account. That's probably gonna be the main route, unless you guys want to go to a different funding company, which I mean, there's going to be widespread issues everywhere. Let's see. Kong said that their server is down. You can't even purchase an account or anything. So it looks like the Apex website might be down right now. Let's check their Discord. Their Discord gets pretty crazy. I don't know if you guys have been on their Discord, but they probably shut down the chat. Now the chat's still running. The crazy thing with this here sometimes is like when people get too crazy in the chat, they just shut down the chat completely. So their chat is still yeah, I would probably stay away from the Apex Discord. If you guys know what I'm talking about, like the Apex Discord is super, super toxic. Uh, just because everyone's always arguing with each other in there. So I only go to the Apex Discord to look for updates, but for the most part, I don't really look into the chat. You'll just see people arguing all the time. Uh, and it gets it gets pretty crazy in there. Yeah, Sadie said all the gamblers fighting. Let's see. Sean's asking, is negative versus reward where the TP is greater than the stop loss, where the stop loss is greater than the TP? Yes, that is correct. So with Apex, they're okay as long as you don't go more than 3-1. So if you guys remember before, we were using a 10-20, that's a 2-1. We were using a 3-1 before, which is fine. 3-1's okay. You just can't go past that. So you can't have like the reason why they do that is because they don't want people to enter a trade with no stop loss, right? They think that's too risky. Like they don't want people entering a trade like this where they're going for like 5 points and then they have like no stop loss. Because you can make profit this way, right? If you just have no stop loss and you just let trade kind of hit your TP, like you're trading in the direction of the trend, right? It just hits your TP and then you go again. You just hit your TP again and it just keeps hitting your TP. That's what they don't want. They don't want people to have like no stop loss and then have like a very small TP. So they just keep hitting their TP, TP, TP. That's the main reason why they came up with that rule. Because people are always trying to figure out ways to game the system. Like if you guys traded with me before, like a long time ago, there was this thing called arbitrage, where FTMO would have their server was slower than the regular server. So you could go on the YM server like this, and then you would just take a trade because it would move faster on here, and you would just arbitrage the trade. Like for example, the price would be bullish here already, but it's still bearish on FTMO. So people would take buys and then they would arbitrage the trade. It wasn't on YM though, it was like on some weird forex asset. And that's basically what people would do. So if it's usually the people who are trying to cheat the system, like basically look for these little inconsistencies. And that's why these rules come up. Like trading around news, people don't let people trade during news because they'll trade both ways, right? They'll trade buy and trade sell. And then they just try to get lucky with whichever direction price goes. All right, the volatility still hasn't picked up, guys. So again, let me just mark up the support and resistance right here. So there is the resistance, and here is the support. And let me just turn off the indicators real quick to show you guys not much has happened. So this here is the range. Price just pushed up. The range is just a little higher, but price hasn't really pushed out of this area here. Again, I'm still looking for an opportunity for entry as we get closer to 8 o'clock. If it doesn't happen, that's fine. I'm okay with no trades today, but for the most part, I'm still looking for an opportunity here as if volatility does pick back up. We are shifting to a bullish trend. So you can see price is now above the pivots. The trend meter is green. The divergence is bullish. So if price decides to climb up, that's fine. Again, I want price to be above these sessions over here. Price has not reached the sessions yet. So if price does continue to climb up higher, the target price point initially is going to be the sessions here. So first target for bullish push is going to be the sessions. The next target is going to be opening price right here. And if price decides to climb up higher, the next target is going to be the Asia low right here. So this is why I think price is going to be bullish, because these are all lows, right? We have the New York low, London low, Asia low right here. If price climbs up higher, we're going to be able to reach the highs. So right, the London high and New York high is way up here. It's at 39,877. It's so far out that it's got a long way to go until it reaches that point. So I think this liquidity will probably get hit later today. I just don't know when. Once the volatility here actually picks up a little bit. All right, so still nothing here. Let me mark 8 o'clock so we have an idea when 8 o'clock is getting closer. I'm surprised the volatility is this low right now. I was hoping it'd be a little bit better, but not every day will be very volatile. Yeah. So Nick over here said he just watched one of those live streamers. I'm pretty sure I know which one you're talking about. Because a lot of us live streamers, we kind of know of each other just because we all live stream and we're all like transparent with our trading. There's one live streamer, I'm not gonna say his name, but he's already been like labeled as like the scammer, just live streamer, because he just trades like demo accounts all the time. And you probably know which one I'm talking about, Nick. There's so many videos about that guy. He's like super outspoken and he's just kind of annoying. And you guys have probably seen his advertisement on YouTube. Yeah, he's a streamer and he was pretty much exposed like a while back, but he always just argues with people. If you ever call him out for trading demo or whatever, he he gets kind of pissed and he goes kind of, no, not that guy. Or she, it's another guy. I think that guy's funny. I think Danny's funny. There's another guy though. He trades like if you guys look up like Apex scammer or something like that, you'll probably see him. But there's a lot of videos. That guy Danny is funny though. He like his emotion is like up and down. He's like straight entertainment. If you ever got watch that guy trade, I mean, he makes a lot of money and he loses a lot of money, but he's like his his emotions are super high. Like he'll hit his TP and that guy will be screaming, like going crazy on the live stream. Like he'll be like drooling and it's crazy. But I think he's okay. I think he actually trades. There's another guy though that lately he's kind of been catching heat because he tells everybody it's PAs, but they're not. Like for me, I told you guys, like half of my accounts are well, majority of my accounts are evals because I'm stuck in those 300Ks, but I have a couple PAs here, like you guys have seen from my profits. I got like, I try to be as realistic with you guys because these 300K accounts are hard to pass. Like for example, these are evals up here, and then the last ones down here, like the last 6 accounts are PAs in my personal account. So I got like one personal account, I got like 4 PAs down here. These are like basically where the money's coming from for me now, but the rest are evals that I'm trying to get past on the 300. And you guys know it's been a grind. So I don't really recommend you guys get a 300K account unless like you guys have other PAs. Or what I do recommend is like get a couple PAs and then or get like some smaller PAs and then try to run the 300Ks. Because the 300Ks are I've been trying to pass this 300Ks for like a month now, maybe 2 months. And it just keeps bringing me back to break even. I have like a good streak and then the market gets kind of flat and then it ends up pulling me back down later. Like right now I'm basically at 305. I keep getting stuck at 305. I'll get close to like 312, 315, and then we have a couple losses and it pulls me back down and then I just end up back at 305. For some reason, 305 is like the number where I just kind of keep ending up at. Yeah, like yes, on Monday I was up to like almost 310 and then I had those losses, or not really losses, but the break even day. So the fees ate up into my accounts again. Oh yeah, no, I know TBM. I know that guy Nick. He that guy's he trades like us. If you guys have ever seen him trade, he trades just like us. Like a lot of his entries are like MPS entries or levels entries, like basically what we do here. He's yeah, so he blew all his accounts. Yeah, that's nuts. Let's see, Rashida said be like in buys 2 minutes later and some sells. FF, yeah. So FF actually, if you guys are on the YouTube, he actually called out that guy. I didn't say any names, but FF mentioned a name. I actually have never watched his streams, but I just watch all the memes about him. So I've never watched his stream before or seen any of his videos, but I've watched his there's a lot of memes and videos basically exposing that guy. Yeah. I'm surprised you knew who I was talking about, FF. But yeah, I don't care. I mean, people can do what they want. They can trade evals, they can trade PAs, they can trade whatever. As long as like you guys are getting some kind of value from like their trading. Like for example, here, I don't care if you guys are like taking my trades or not taking my trades. I'm still gonna give you guys my analysis regardless of the fact. There's some people in the group who make more profit than me. There's people in the group who make less profit than me. I mean, I'm just trading. So I'm doing what I normally do. And if you guys want to take trades based off my analysis, that's completely fine. But I don't typically try to flaunt my profits or anything like that. I just want to be profitable. That's the real key thing, right? I want to be profitable and I want you guys to be profitable. Right now is not a time to really take any risks because price has been going sideways. But if we do get this bullish push right here, price is finally at the sessions Let me measure this candle to see how far this here is. Actually, you named him too, Ishan. You just used his acronyms. Yeah. Now that you've mentioned, now that I've realized what the acronyms mean, you're right. That's who I was mentioning. All right, guys. So price is trying to push past the sessions here, like I mentioned, but it's not getting past it. These candles here are not big enough for me to want to take any entries. The ATR is currently at 14 right now, so it makes it a little risky for us to take these 15 TP stop losses because it's not enough volatility for it to really push up. What I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to kind of climb up, drop down heavy, and then push back up super hard. So for example, here, if this red candle pushed up green, I would have been okay with taking it, but because it didn't do that, which it probably wouldn't be able to, the volatility is too low, I wouldn't be able to take that entry here. So I'm looking for the same thing again. So the same pattern right here, I'm looking for it to come down a little hard and then push back up. Like this right here, but with more volatility. Right? See how it's projecting off the pivot right there? This is kind of the pattern that I was looking for so that I can enter for the correction. But for one, price is at the sessions right here. So this is a red flag area. Of course, I'm not going to take any trades right there. I would want price to push up a little bit higher. Maybe bounce off the level here and push up to this level of liquidity up here. Yeah, FF that guy. I'm gonna turn off the chat because I don't want people to think I'm talking shit. I don't really don't care about what other people are talking, what other people are doing on their live streams. Because the thing is, we all live stream around the same time, so I can't even watch anybody's live stream if I wanted to. Yeah, I know you're familiar with him, Nick, most likely. The worst part is that Nick says that's why I watch him for you. The worst part is like when you get like exposed on like those exposed channels because there's a couple like traders out there who have like exposed channels and they just expose like guru traders or fake traders. And that guy's been featured on that channel like a couple times. So once you get featured on those channels, it becomes a mess for that person. All right, so price is finally climbing back up, guys. Like I said, as we get closer to 8 o'clock, we might get some volatility here, maybe enough for like one entry, but it's not really I mean, there's just no volatility here. You know, I'm surprised that TBM traded during this consolidation right here. I could see why he blew his accounts because there's no trades to be taken right here. Like not around this area at least. All right, we're getting some nice volatility here now, guys. So I'm looking for price to come up. All right, so we're getting some volatility here. Again, I'm going to look for some opportunities here for a possible buy because the target price point is going to be quoted up here. So I'm going to look for a sharp retracement. Like it's got to be pretty sharp. Like I got to see like a pretty nice wick and then a swing back up. All right, so this right here, I want this to come down a bit sharper and then come back up. All right, so we got about 40 seconds left on this candle right here. I need this to come down a little harder. All right, perfect. So it's coming down pretty hard. I'm going to watch this candle here. If this candle turns green and it swings back up, I'm going to take this for a buy. So I'm expecting price to push up to the liquidity up here. Not going to take it yet, but we have like 20 seconds left on this candle. So if it swings up, looking for a possible buy here. I know it's such an opening price, but if it pushes up pretty hard, I'm just going to hop in. Might not even hold it for the full move because the volatility is a little low. All right, I'm gonna get in right here. I'm holding it here for a bit. If the volatility doesn't pick up, then I'm probably gonna close out early. So I'm gonna hold it right here for a little bit. Watching it right here as it pushes up higher. The volatility is kind of low. I'm up a little more. I don't like the volatility, guys. I'm getting out. All right, so I got out early right there for like a small little push. It's probably gonna push up, but the volatility is just not there, guys. I don't like it. The last thing I want to do is get caught in the retracement back. So I got out right there. So I got out for about 8 points. I mean, it's probably gonna push up, but I don't want to risk it, especially as we get closer and closer to 8 o'clock. Nice. So Nick right there got out for 10. Dylan took it for a partial. Nice work, guys. CJ got out for 6. Solid work, guys. Yeah, so I was hoping it'd push up higher, but again, the volatility here, you got to be smart about it. And there you go. It's probably going to push up and hit TP. The target price point was going to be the levels up here, but I just got to be smart about my positions today. I'm not looking to take anything dumb here, of course. And there you go, full TP. So if you guys held it to full TP, great work. But if you guys didn't, it's completely fine. Like I said, this was the price action I was looking for. It did exactly what I was looking for, and it played through. So profit's profit. If you guys took the full move, great. If you guys didn't, you guys should have made some profit here because they never pulled into drawdown. So we never went into drawdown. You guys had all the opportunity here to pull out for some profit. I'm just playing it smart today, guys. The volatility is just way too low, and it's too close to 8 o'clock. So I made some profit, not as much as I would have liked, but I mean, it'll do for today. So let me go and put this up over here real quick. Entry happened at 7:53. Again, it's another market flow entry. Yeah, this is a pretty late entry. I mean, on top of the fact that it was, like, first of all, this entry came up super late. So that's one of the things that kind of threw me off guard. Second thing was that it wasn't an immediate push, right? Kind of just pushed up a little bit, got tired, and then pushed up higher. So again, the target price point is this upper area. It's probably going to reach this point. I think if it hits liquidity, it'll probably climb up even higher. There might be even another opportunity to get back in right here. I'm not going to risk myself, but again, if you see a nice sharp retracement, like probably a sharp retracement down right here to the pivot and push back up, that'll probably hit the liquidity. And then the next target is going to be the sessions up here. So, all right, let's see. Yeah, those are my trades. I'm going to take a screenshot of my profits. So for the week so far, I'm still like slightly in the red because of the fees. I don't know, my fees added up from yesterday. I can't take dumb trades like that anymore. It's a lesson learned. I can't believe I took 8 trades yesterday. Like, I'm just thinking back to that, I'm like, what was I thinking? Taking 8 trades. I barely take 1 trade a day. And then all of a sudden, one day I'm taking 8 trades at break even, ended up paying like almost $1,000 in fees. So here, I'm gonna show you guys what I locked in for that trade there. Okay, so here are my profits for the day. So you guys can see right here, I made about 400 per Apex account, and then my PA accounts right here, I locked in like about $100. I take lower risk on my PA accounts because, I mean, obviously, not trying to risk too much on those. But yeah, I mean, these are my accounts, and then for the week so far, I'm still slightly in the red, just a little bit. I just need to take one more trade to bring this back into profit. If this was a full TP, then of course all my weekly here would be back in green, but because I took out partials here, I got out at like 400. So it wasn't really that much. It was really just 300 because 400 plus the fees. This is how much I actually locked in. And this is my red for the week because I had to pay fees for commissions. So I think for this week so far, across each account, I've paid over $1,000 in commissions. So you guys can see how it eats up into my profit because I made about 800 yesterday, or not even 800. Let me see. So the other day I made about like 800. And then I took like 8 trades where I had to pay a shit ton in commissions. And then now I'm like slightly in the red, just a little bit. But it's okay. So yeah, exactly. Nick said just got ahead of yourself happens to the best of us. Yeah. I'm never gonna let that happen again. I don't know what got into me. I like when I told a couple people that I took 8 trades yesterday, nobody believed me. They were like, "There's no way you took 8 trades yesterday." I'm like, "Bro, I took 8 trades," and it didn't work in my favor because I ended up at break even. All right, so here's the target price point that I mentioned earlier. So this is where I wanted price to reach, and it did exactly that. The only problem is that the volatility here was kind of slow. I was hoping we'd have some bigger candles right here so we could just spike up to our TP and then climb up to this point up here. But because of the the low volatility, the ATR is really low too. So just keep that in mind. Super low ATR, probably best to just sit out. But market did exactly what we were waiting for. So price was consolidating and ranging within this middle area. I said, okay, once price passes this session right here, I'm going to look for some buys, right? And that's exactly what I did. Target price point was right here, the liquidity. You guys can see how the liquidity just spiked right through. It did exactly what we wanted. The next target price point is going to be the sessions right here. So if it continues to climb, it's probably going to reach the sessions up here. And then price will probably climb up. And if it climbs up higher, it's going to hit the next levels of liquidity up here. So it's doing exactly what we anticipated, right? I said price is probably going to come up and knock out all the liquidity. And you guys can see right here, there's still a lot of liquidity sitting up here. I'm not going to be here to take it, but I mean, if you guys continue to trade later today, I mean, this is something to look out for as long as volatility continues to remain pretty consistent. I think the market might die down here for a little bit. So like around 8 o'clock, well, it is already 8 o'clock. The volatility here might slow down a bit, and then it'll probably pick back up here at 9 o'clock because people are going to lunch right now. Or people might have already taken their lunch and they're now just going to trade from between 6 and between 8 and 9. Let's see. Sean said took an MPS slight risk as ATR was low, but trend was strong, so he made 150 on his PA accounts. Nice work, Sean. Yeah, no, the volatility is very low, so you want to be careful with those MPS entries. I mean, they're good entries, but yeah, like you said, it's just kind of risky and kind of tricky because of the low volatility. This means they'll just shift right back down. I think the volatility is going to get even slower right here. It might just consolidate here for a bit. Okay, so the target got hit. You guys see the sessions right there? The sessions got hit, so the first target over here knocked out. This will probably consolidate a bit, and if it climbs up later, it's probably going to push up to the next level. So the next level is right here, and then the level after that's right here. That's where it's going to wipe out liquidity. So I mean, it was well worth the wait. Wish I would have gotten my full TP on that, but let my my conservative side kind of take hold. Jonathan said he just took a risky liquidity. Nice work, Jonathan. Yeah, so if you guys have profits to post that, feel free to share them. I'll post up my profits right now as well. So let's say I lock in 400. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 400 times 20 plus 240 plus 85 plus 80. So I'm up 8,405 for the day. And then for the week so far, I'm still down a little bit. This is just because of commissions and fees. But I locked, let's see, I'm just going to give a rough estimate. So I'll just do 140, 150 times 24. So I'm only down a little bit. I'm down like 3,000 right now, which not a big deal. You know, I'll take one trade tomorrow and this will be all back in green. cover my commissions, and then put me back in the green for the week. Hopefully tomorrow is a lot more volatile so we can take more of these trades. But you guys can see like this trading style is very simple. As long as you can follow along with my analysis, I'm going to give you a heads up of like where to trade. So like if price is sitting down here, like I'm like, okay, we're not going to take anything right here, but if price pushes up here, pushes down here, we'll look for some sells. And I'll try to give you guys like as much of a heads up as possible. And you guys can always enter wherever you want. You don't have to enter where I enter. I'll try to give you guys little hints here and there where you can make opportunities for entry. But for the most part, I'm going to try to be a little more conservative because yesterday was just a mess. Yesterday was a little crazy with regard to over trading, which I always try to tell you guys not to over trade. Yeah, Sadie said big news tomorrow at 5:30. Let's see. So we got news tomorrow. Yeah, so we got news over here at 5:30, high impact durable goods. Goods trades balance, initial jobless claims, continuing jobless claims, durable goods, GDP growth rate, durable goods, jobless claims, etc. So all the high impact news is happening around like 5:30. We have some medium impact news at 7, and then we have low impact at 8 o'clock. So yeah, Sadie said on Apex eval, one can trade news candle, right? Yeah, I believe so. I don't think that's a rule. So I mean, if you wanna flip a coin, Sadie, you can flip a coin. Just a heads up for these news events, I don't think they're gonna push like more than 100 points. So just Sadie said I have a strategy. No, I know. I think I know your strategy too. I think Nick also knows your strategy. But so just a heads up for this these news events, just a heads because I've looked at these news events. They're probably gonna push like maybe 50 to like under 100 points. So just keep that in mind. If you're looking for more than a 100-point move, just keep that in mind that it's probably gonna be, it's not gonna reach that point. There's only a couple events, news events that really push past 100 points. It's PPI, CPI, and NFP. Those are the three main news events. These other news events, they're high impact, but they don't really push like super crazy. I mean, they might, don't get me wrong, they might push further than they've ever pushed before, but from my data, because I've basically been following these news events, they push maybe like 50, 70 points, but nothing like past 200. Like NFP will push like 150 to 200 points, but these news events are and they also whipsaw. So be careful with these two because these news events actually whipsaw. There's only a few news events I know that actually go one directional, and these aren't them. So just a heads up. But all right, guys. So if you guys have any questions, I think this is it. Let me check real quick to see if there's anything else that I'm missing. So here are the team profits for the day. We have Cam over here. Cam locked in a total profit of 1,300 per account. He has 4 accounts here, so well over 5,000 for the day. Nice work, Cam. Solid profits there. Great. Yeah, so Cam said no losing days for this whole month. Killing it. We got David here, total profit of 105 for the day. Nice work, David. Solid work there. We got Natasha, total profit of 322 on our first account. Great work, Natasha. Natasha traded on our other account, total profit of 1,225. Great work, Natasha. We got Vamal here, total profit of, let's see, well over 500 for the day. Nice work, Vamal. We got Jonathan over here, total profit of 950 for the day and 737 for the week. Solid. Jonathan took 2 liquidity entries for the day. Nice work, Jonathan. And then we got Deswell over here as well. Total profit of 5,032. Nice work, Deswell. I haven't seen you here in a while. Solid to see you trading gold for the day. Some great profits right there as well. Other than that, I think that might be about it. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I think this is about it for the day. So for my day, I've locked in a profit of 8,405. And then I'm down here. I'll just put it up here. It's easier for me. So plus 8,405 for the day. Negative And I'm gonna put approximate here because people always try to be smartasses with me. People always try to be smartasses like, oh, that's not the exact number. I don't know why people do that, but okay. I'll put it right here. Approximate. Because I didn't want to do the math to add up all the losses. But I'm just gonna put approximate there. There's always like one person that wants to be a smartass and message me in the DMs like, hey, Sean, the numbers here aren't correct. I know they're not because I didn't want to add up all the numbers. There's too many numbers here to add up. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we'll be back here tomorrow. Again, if you guys want to keep trading, there's a lot of liquidity up here. So if the volatility picks back up, you guys can possibly look for something up here. Otherwise, I would just sit out, come back tomorrow fresh. Hopefully the market will be volatile between 6:30 and 7 so that we can continue on with this trading week. So, all right, guys, have a great day, and I will see you guys back here tomorrow.